it's almost as if the Himalayas are so big and they're so kind of obvious that people don't think about what the effect that they have. But we're dealing with an inland system, a hydrological, geological system that underpins the development of China, Southeast Asia, and South Asia's civilizations, cultures, histories, nation states. Half the people, almost half the population of the world, live in the watershed of this particular mountain range, this particular plateau. So it's a very, it's probably has the most impact of any inland on the planet. We're in the same hydrological cycle. The monsoon winds go up to the Himalayas, collect water that then comes down and spreads out over northern Australia. I remember there was this great BBC documentary where this man said, it was about the monsoon, and he started by saying, "This is the Australian outback. This is where the monsoon comes to die." Right? It really struck me that's one massive system. We're dealing with one environmental system that starts in the Himalayas and ends in Australia, northern Australia. And I grew up in Queensland, so it connects me to it, I guess, a little bit more. All right, so there's that works. The other thing is that we're kind of on the rim of that cycle in terms of population and cultural expansion as well. Right? This is an intense population center, right? We are right on the edge of the biggest population center in the world, and I think we need to start conceptualizing our space a little bit more like that, right? So we're on the outer rim. If we go into the center, then you just get more concentrated and more concentrated. And half the world's population lives in the monsoonal rim of Asia, right? And we're just next door, so it's right close to us. We need to start conceptualizing like that. So that's the second element, yeah? And the third element is that we're kind of in a transition, right? So we had Indigenous Australia, and then the Whiteys invaded, and now we're transitioning into a space where we're becoming much more Eurasian. So there's a lot of what I see in Asia now I see reflected in Australia. And I'm really interested in the way that people from those communities start to view Australia and trying to make connections between basically hoping that they don't make the same stupid mistakes we did and be more respectful. And some of the ways I think that works is I'm really interested in how people from a culture which has a really long history of sacred space, how they relate to sacred space in Australia. So bringing in ideas of pilgrimage and respect for the traditional elders. I mean, because that's what happens in China and India. I'm kind of interested in how that plays out within the Australian Asian communities as well.